y'all that don't know, for y'all that do know, my name is Ashley and I'm back with another video. So today's video is a vlog. We're vlogging today. So as you can see, I am in my vehicle. Why? Because I am on my way to guess what? We're picking up a dog. Well, I'm picking up a dog. One of my old high school friends, or like she was on the same what is that shit called? She was on the same color guard team as me, but like the flag, like with the band, the color guard with the band, she was on that with me, right? And I had posted on Facebook a couple weeks ago, like I'm really resisting the urge, to buy this kid a dog, to get this kid another dog, because I'll explain that in a minute, but I'm resisting the urge to get the kid another dog. And so she was like, actually, my dog accidentally had a litter of puppies before she got neutered or spayed. So, do you want one? Also, they're free. Free? It's a free pup. I spit. It's a free pup for sure. For sure. Let's get this. So, I'm on my way to my old city where we went to high school to pick up the dog. Let me move over because they just really prodding my motherfucking ass and they don't motherfucking need to. Going 80 fucking miles an hour, relax. Anyway, yeah, so I'm on my way now, to pick up the puppy, and she said it's like a Chihuahua and something terrier, and a pug mix. So it's an itty bitty dog, and I'm glad because right now we still live in an apartment, well, a townhouse, and I don't think that we have enough room for a big dog, because what I really want, like the dog that I really want, is a black Labrador. They're beautiful and they are loyal and they are smart as fuck. I really want one of those, but we can't get one of those until we get a house. It's just not enough room. So I super wanted a puppy, and it's a girl puppy, and she's brown, and she's super cute, and she's small. The only thing about Chihuahuas is that they're pretty vocal, and they have that small dog syndrome. They can get that sometimes, so that's the only thing that I'm kind of worried about. But since she's a puppy, I think that growing up with us, it'll be good. Like, it'll be fine.
And so, backstory.
We used to have a dog. His name was Ron, and he was like a shepherd and some type of terrier mix. But as he grew up, he was a very anxious dog. So he would and we got him when he was a puppy, but he was a very anxious dog. So he would nip at stuff and he would chew on things. And I think that it would have been better if we had another dog at the time, but we were like new pet owners, and it just wasn't a good fit. So and then he ended up biting my son twice. So like the first time was like a little nip. The second time he really bit him. Like the first time was like a little nip, but the second time he like drew a little bit of blood. I was like, oh no, we can't do that. And my son was way younger at the time, so it was not a good situation. So we had to give him up. But since my son is a little bit older now, he has a little bit of more understanding. He's a little bit more gentle. And this dog is smaller. I think that this can be a really good fit. Plus, it's a girl. The other dog was a boy. This is a girl, so I think that my son will be like super like, you gotta get her this. She needs to eat. Like I think it's gonna be different. Yeah. So that's what we're doing today, and I am really excited. I have about, I think I want to say like another maybe 40-ish minutes of this drive before I get there. And then I have to like get all of her stuff. But I'm not getting like a whole lot of super duper expensive dog stuff. Like we ain't finna do that this time around. Because last time we got the dog and was like, we got to get everything. We need this, we need this, we need this, we need this. And this time it's going to be a little bit different, and I'm going to be more focused on just keeping her comfortable instead of trying to make sure that she has like the, you know, I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to take y'all with me when I go into the stores to get the shit. Okay, I am driving, so I was listening to the radio, right? And in listening to the motherfucking radio, I just heard that Dwayne Wade filed a petition for Zaya to legally change her name and her gender on like her, you know, legal documents and stuff like that. And because he's doing this, his ex-wife is trying to sue him. I think she's trying to sue him. Please excuse me if that piece of information is incorrect. I think she's trying to sue him, so to stop him from doing that, to delay it so that Zaya wouldn't be able to do it until she's at least 18. Now, I have feelings about this because I was listening to a radio show, and you know, people call in and they have their opinions and shit like that. And some, like the radio, what was I listening to? I was listening to the Morning Hustle, and Headcrack and L'Oreal, you know, they have their opinions. So first of all, I just want to make it clear that people were talking about having surgery and making those changes, and you know, you shouldn't do that until, like, it's better to do stuff like that early versus late. And then Headcrack was like, well, all the people I know who have actually gone through that, the surgeries and things, they did it later on rather than early. So that's misunderstanding there, because what the call-in people were saying was that starting hormones early, like when the child is prepubescent, starting those hormones early helps them come into the physical presentation of the gender that they identify as in their mind, right? So Zaya was born a male parts, right? Testosterone, because of those male parts, heavy on the testosterone, right? So what would happen is, I don't know if she's on hormones now or not, I don't know anything about that, but it would be ideal for her to start the hormones early so that they would counteract the testosterone, right? More estrogen than testosterone, so that more womanly features would come through as she goes through puberty. So the need for additional surgeries later would be less, because as I'm a cisgender woman. I was born a female, and I present as a female. So I present as a woman. So I have a lot of estrogen in me. Because of my estrogen hormones, I developed breasts. I developed the, you know, smaller waistline. I have a little bit more padding around my hips, stuff like that, right? And my voice is higher than, you know, like a slightly higher octave than like dudes who have more bass. That's because of hormones. If she's on her hormones early and for a long enough time, she will develop breast tissue. She will develop a smaller waist, more padding on the hips. She will look more womanly as she gets older, the longer she's on estrogen, on hormones, which is like the female hormone or whatever. So that's what the listeners were saying when they called in, and I don't think Headcrack caught that. So what he was talking about was surgery that a lot of people don't do until later, like bottom surgery to get whatever parts they have that they were born with changed to the part of the type of person that they're presenting as. So yeah, that doesn't usually happen until later for lots of reasons. Lots of reasons. Majority of the reasons being, some people do not feel comfortable actually presenting as the person that they see that they are in their mind. They don't feel comfortable presenting as that because they didn't grow up around that, right? That's one. Two, Finances. Everybody does not have enough money to just elect to go get a surgery. It takes time to build those funds. It takes time to save up for that. It takes time to find a doctor who is willing to do that, right? So, yeah. And then even then, some people don't want to do it. And then when they decide to do it, it's after, years and years of having it. And then they just, oh, well, I think I'll do this. I think I'll, just finally go ahead and do it. Like, it's the reason that people usually do it later is because there are usually obstacles in the way of doing it sooner. Right? So, yeah, and she's still a minor, so I highly doubt that they would do any surgery. Like, D-Wade and Gabrielle Union are super understanding. They're a very progressive couple. But I highly doubt that they would let their young child do a bottom surgery until they are an adult. You know what I mean? Like, they have the means, they have the funds, they have the resources. But I don't think that they would do that because she's still a child. She's still a minor. But yeah, that was like, I was listening to it and I'm like, yeah, that doesn't, what y'all are saying is not correct. It's not making sense. So yeah, that was my little, actually no. So there's more. So I'm sorry, I'm yelling. My bad. So it also came up that like D-Wade's ex-wife, somebody said that she was suing because they feel like D-Wade is trying to get financial gain from allowing Zaya to change her name and change her gender and stuff on her legal documents and shit, right? Which I don't think is true. Also, it's not necessary. He's set. Gab is set. Like, they don't need that. So I don't think that's what it is. But L'Oreal had said something about like she had brought up a story about one of her friends who had surgery as a young, like as a minor, because their mother forced it on them. And basically her reasoning, like the point that she was trying to make was, if the ex-wife feels like D-Wade is forcing Zaya to do that, then L'Oreal understands why the ex-wife would have reservations about that, right? I get that, but there's no way that you actually think D-Wade would force Zaya to do that. Zaya came out to her parents, or her dad and her stepmom, like, yeah, I'm a girl. So I highly doubt that D-Wade would actually be forcing her to make those changes. Like, I don't think that's the case. So L'Oreal's point didn't really make sense. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like, and then somebody else said that the ex-wife is only suing D-Wade because she's trying to get some fame or some recognition or something about Zaya, in doing that. And I was just like, honestly, that seems more probable. But like, for what? Like, if you're gonna sue him, like, I don't understand when people sue, they always put some astronomical ass amount of fucking money. Like, you're suing him to not go through with the petition, but you want $250,000? What? How is $250,000? What is that gonna benefit? That's gonna benefit you. If it's the principle of the thing, you can sue him and it not be, and you know what I'm saying, a wild ass amount of money. Like, I don't know. I don't like when people do stuff like that. Like, you can sue somebody and it not be for the money. Like, it doesn't have to be some wild ass number just to get your point across that that you feel like they shouldn't do what it is that they're doing. Like, when people do stuff like that, the actual motive always gets lost in it always gets lost behind, you know, how they actually choose to go about it. So I don't think that there's a really good relationship between the ex-wife and D Wade and the kids. I'm sure, obviously, that they love their mother, but I don't think that the relationship is super duper strong. So, like, I kind of feel like she might be overstepping, because Zaya came out to the parents that she lives with and how she presents, and the, you know what I'm saying? And she's out there. She does her, you know, different campaigns or different marketing things, and, you know, different stuff like that. And if the ex-wife is simply wanting Zaya to wait until she's 18, that is totally understandable, to like make the change of like your name and your gender on your legal documents. But my thing is if you can change it one time, I'm pretty sure you can change it back. It's a legal document. To file to change your name is not difficult to do. It's not a wild ass process. Sometimes it can be a little long and it can be a little annoying, but it's not a wild ass process that you wouldn't be able to do this shit again. So to push it back until she's 18, I guess I understand it, because she's a minor. But if she wants to do it now, she can, and she decides later on that that's not actually what she feels like in her brain, she can change it back. So I don't know, and I don't know how California is, because I think they're in California now. I think they're in LA, but I don't know how their court system works and their social security administration there works. I don't know how that works, but I'm fairly sure if you change it, there's a way for you to change it back. And it's sure to cost a couple of dollars, but it's not going to cost $250,000. It's not like, it probably won't even, I don't think it even costs $1,000. It doesn't cost that much to get that shit changed. But yeah, so that was just my little rant on that. I when it comes to these kids and gender and transgender and, you know, people who are not identifying as what they were born with, and cisgender, like, if there's nothing else you get from a conversation about gender and sex and sexuality, is that sex is the anatomy that you were born with. The terms to refer to sex is male, female, and intersex. Male, female, and intersex. That's it, right? Gender is how you present to the world. It's how you present yourself. That is feminine, woman, masculine, man. It's usually in the US, it's a binary. In some other countries and cultures, there's more than man and woman. Literally, there's a documentary. There's like I forgot what that country is. It's not Indonesia, but it's somewhere in Asia. There's man, woman, and fa'afafine. And fa'afafine here would be men who dress and present as women. Those would be transgender women. But there, it's a whole other gender. Like, that is normal there. That is who you are there. Man, woman, fa'afafine. So in the US, it's a gender binary, man and woman. But that's only here. Well, you know, other countries, but here it's different. So yeah, man, woman, that's gender. Feminine, masculine, that's gender. It's how you present yourself to the world, right? Here, sex is in between your legs. Those are your organs. Gender is in your brain. It's how you choose to present yourself to the world. That's perception. That's in your brain, right? And then what was the other thing I said? Sexuality It's what you're sexually attracted to. Heterosexual, you're attracted to the opposite gender. But wait. Yeah, whatever. Heterosexual is you are attracted to the opposite person. That's the best way I can say that to be as inclusive as possible. I am a cisgender woman. I was born with female parts. I present as a woman. I identify as a woman. I am not heterosexual. I am bisexual, which means I like cisgender men and cisgender women. For me, right? Like, sexuality is a spectrum. Gender, people say gender is a spectrum. I don't really think gender is a spectrum. I don't think gender is a spectrum, but I do think that feminine and masculine, that's a spectrum, because at times I feel super feminine, at times I feel super masculine. Like, really, like, I like to put on my basketball shorts and my sneakers and my socks and walk around like a fucking dude. I like to do that. That makes me feel good. And then sometimes I want to put on a really tight dress and some heels and, you know, be that bitch. I enjoy that. It depends. Being feminine and masculine, that's a spectrum. Sexuality, that's a spectrum. I don't think gender is a spectrum. I don't. And then for the people who don't identify, they usually fall under the umbrella of being queer, which is fine. It's fine. But yeah, I just wanted to that's my little rant about this. But okay, I'm gonna turn this off so I can ride the rest of the way to get this dog, and then I will be back on with y'all. See you in a second. All right, you guys, so I made it to my destination, and I actually already met up with my old classmate, and I got the dog. I wanted to record like getting her out the car and stuff, but that happened in 2 seconds, so I couldn't, my mind wasn't like, oh, get the phone to record. It didn't do that. So, but look, I got her, and she's so sweet. Hi. Look, that's you. You guys, so she is super sleepy. So my classmate told me that, I guess when the puppy woke up, she like pooped and then like rolled in it or whatever. So she had to take another bath this morning. So when I got her, she was still a little wet and she was super shivering. Like, she was shivering. And you know, she was like in a towel and stuff, but she was cold because it's a little cold out here. So I had to put on the heat and make it warm in the car. So she's like mostly completely dried now. She's not shivering anymore, but she is so sleepy. She's like falling asleep. Yeah, she is like falling asleep. So I'm going to run to Dollar Tree because I did not prep for her. So I'm going to get a couple of doggy things, and then I'm going to hit the road and go back home. But I definitely need to get puppy pads first and foremost, because I do not want her to pee in my car. I do not want her to pee on me. And yeah, let's just prevent that. Oh, it's a UPS store. I have packages that I need to mail. Oh, I think, dang, I don't know. Anyway, so let me go into the store. I'm going to pick up some of her stuff, and I'm going to have to, I brought my Telfar, and I took off my hoodie because she was cold, so I'm gonna put her in my hoodie and then put her in my bag, and hopefully she just doesn't pee in it, because if she does, I'm gonna have a fucking fit. But she's a puppy, so hopefully not, and hopefully her bladder and stuff is empty now because she peed and pooped this morning already. We should be good. All right, into the store we go. All right, so We got our stuff. We didn't get a whole lot of stuff, but we got, oh wait, where's my keys? All right, so we got some stuff. Oh, they're just so sleepy. Okay, so little Miss Lady, I think is her name. Oh, she just fell asleep in my bag. Hold on, look. Oh, she's climbing out now. She was just inside of it. Let me get her out. She is so sleepy. Hey. Anyway, so I got the training PP pads. I got those, so I'm getting ready to put one on my seat. And then I got a toy, like a toy ball. And Dollar Tree obviously isn't gonna have like a whole lot of stuff. I didn't even realize these were scented, but Dollar Tree is not gonna have a whole lot of stuff. So I just got, you know, the little things that I could. And these 3 things came up to $4. And so for 8 PP pads and a toy, that's okay, because toys are usually $8, or the PP pads are by themselves are usually like 10 or something like that. So, wow, she's so tired. I'm not even gonna pull out the pad. I'm not even gonna pull out the ball. I'm just gonna take her out of my bag and keep her in the hoodie and let her go to sleep because she is exhausted. Seriously, look at her. Look. Sleep. Sleep. I am so happy that I have this dog right now. I can't even, I'm so excited. But I don't know if I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna put my son's reaction in here too. He's at school right now, so he won't see her until this afternoon. But I think I'm gonna surprise him with her. So let's see how it goes. All right, I'll check back in with y'all in a little bit. Bye. All right, you guys, she's still super cute, but I definitely just spoke too soon because she just threw up in my hoodie. It was clear. It wasn't like a whole lot of food, but she just threw up in my hoodie. Is your tummy okay? Okay. Good night. Okay, so yesterday was a whirlwind. My son met the dog and he loved her. And from that, you sit down. Yes, she made a sound. No. And it has been hectic ever since she got in the house. So I woke my husband up with her, and he got scared at first because he was asleep and then it was something moving. So yeah, so last night was a good night. We got her a bed, we got her a whole bunch of stuff. We got her a bed. She slept in my son's room last night, and she hasn't barked yet. She's whined like maybe 3 or 4 times since she's been with us. And Lady, no. And we have decided that her name is Lady. I'm so excited about this. Jordan is like crazy excited, and he's been excited. Get out of my boot. I'm glad that she slept in his room and he slept in his room. He did not come get my bed. And yeah. So I got her a new bowl. She got a new bed. I got the puppy doggy bags things for the poop. I got one of those things. And she pooped outside every single time since I've had her. Every time she had to poop, it was outside. And I am so thankful for that. And yeah, so I think that this has been good. I think this was a really good decision, and I'm excited to see where this goes. I told Jordan it'll be a trial to see how she does and how we do with her. And then depending on how the week goes, then we'll decide if we keep her forever or if we have to give her away.
I want to give her away.
He said I don't want to give her away.
I'm gonna be crying like,
You dropped your fork. So, or your spoon. So it is Friday, November 4th. We're getting ready to go to the bus stop, and she has already been outside. And yeah, this is exciting. So, all right, now it's time for the lady video. She does not like her collar. Get off my boots. Hey.
Lady, no.
No. Yay. Hey, she's eating. I was just fighting with her for like 10-15 minutes trying to get her to eat. Because she's trying to get to Jordan, but I had to block it off. With his stool in my trash can, I had to block it off so she wouldn't go to him. Yay! Why are you standing on my boots? Why are you standing on my boots? All right, so I noticed something with the way she eats, right? She's still a little puppy, so her stomach is really small. So like she was eating a little bit and then walking away for some time and then eating a little bit and then walking away for some time. So I am immediately getting her on a schedule. Last night, I think around like 8:30 or like around 8, I took her out for the last time. And she, you know, before I took her out, she ate for the last time. And then she went and she got in the bed. And then she was in the bed all night until I got up this morning. So now with her food, because she started eating before I took my son, you know, to the bus stop or whatever. And she wasn't, when we came back in, she wasn't trying to eat. So this is what I decided to do. This is the, what is this? Pedigree. The Pedigree puppy pouch food things. I put one spoonful in her dry food, mixed it around, and now she's tearing it up. She's tearing it up. I think she might need to eat. I need to Google it. I think she might need to eat again in the middle of the day, just until, you know, she gets bigger or she gets older. And then one time at night. But this way, I won't have to worry about her, you know, not eating enough. I know she ate because I'm watching her eat. And she'll actually be full. So that's good. And 3 times a day, we are in there. We are getting on the schedule. We're getting there. I'm so excited. She used the bathroom this morning outside. She peed and she pooped outside. And then after we came in from the bus stop, she had to pee again. She almost peed on my carpet, but caught her, picked her up, put her in, you know, brought her near the puppy pad, and it took about another 5 minutes, but then she peed on the puppy pad, which is exciting. I'm so excited about this. This is a very prosperous pup. Very prosperous pup. But yeah, so that is, I think I'm gonna close out the vlog.